Thanks for the info. Welcome to the stream. Only half an hour stream without a microphone. All right. Yeah, I'm not used to stream. It happens. But thanks for noticing. I'm from Germany. Then I don't know. I did an intro and nobody heard it. So in the last stream, we tried to implement visualizing our backtests, or at least we started it, and yeah, then we started a Ralph loop that has implemented it, and now we are looking at it, the results, and yeah, doing some fine-tuning. You're also in Germany in September, nice. Where are you from? From Italy. Not changed. Did not change the files. I think we just migrated this. What is it? PG admin. Timescale admin. In which table is the stop loss. Fills. Why am I using Codex over Claude? I think Claude has now this limitation that you cannot do much with these automated running tasks. So when you try to do like trigger a chat or trigger an agent with the CLI just with Codex or Claude, then and give it a task. I think they have a separate limit for it, as far as I understood. And I have developed a workflow where I start a loop that just runs over many tasks, like here we created a requirement document and then created issues, and then I just could start this over all the issues. And it fully implemented it automatically. Yeah, I'm also excited to see what GPT 5.6 is possible to do. I do have to admit, yeah, it is much worse in UI design. It cannot pretty much one-shot beautiful design. Yeah, so I hope this new model will then get much better at it, but I think for all the other tasks, I mean, I'm developing a iOS app as well. Here, this voice pipe speech to text tool, and I also think because it's a not so widely used language, it's also not very good at it, so yeah. Okay, this is fixing the overlaying issue here. I'm a developer. I'm working as a full-time developer, just doing this YouTube thing, trading, everything on the side. So I earn my money as an employed full-stack developer. Found it. Here we were. I think there was a button here in pgadmin where you could just select the database. Now it is count rows, but I don't want to count rows. I don't want to drop it. Refresh is only refreshing it. Restore, backup, import. View here. All rows, found it. At work, I am using AI, but I'm using it completely different than here. I do write AI, I let AI code pretty much everything already. But I'm reviewing the code. I'm reviewing pretty much every line that the AI writes at work. And yeah, in this personal projects, I'm pretty much don't care that much anymore. I'm doing some code reviews from time to time and try to do some general refactoring. Try to to achieve still some code quality. But for this voice to text tool, for example, I don't know Swift language, so I can't even review this code. Therefore, yeah, this is completely vibe coded. Here we were looking at stop loss price, backtest close trades. So here, view all rows, exit price, stop loss price. That's stop loss price. So maybe the run was working with the old database. That doesn't make sense. Then I don't know. Let's maybe let's ignore this for now and let's see when it happens again. Okay, I would like to have a delete option here to delete old runs and fully clean them up. For the backtest runs, I would like to have a button in the list for each strategy run, which is like a trash can icon we already use, and when I click it, it should fully clean up this strategy run in the database with all the trades and fills. So the complete run should be deleted. Okay, but this one is already better with the overlay here. Which one is the run? The top. So we have this, and we can still add indicators, for example, to SMAs. And what did we do? I think it was 510. Do we see this here? Nope. It was 510. So we have here the cross. Ah, yeah, it's correct. We have here the cross, this on the close, and we enter and on the next open. And the price is also probably correct. What is it? 14,229. Ah, yeah, it's a, never mind, it's a red candle, so it's a entry is above. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Moving works also. It's nice. Then next I would like to run a strategy with a stop loss and take profit to see how this is implemented. But let's maybe let this agent here finish. It's already doing type checks. Some linting problems. Now these files are getting too large. There's the linter. Linter is not accepting this. Let's maybe already check how we... I don't remember the CLI code anymore for setting stop loss and take profit. I would like to run this CLI command to run the backtest with a 1% Let's do a 0.1. Maybe let's do Bitcoin and then can do 1%. With a 1%, take profit and stop loss. Give me the proper CLI command. Okay, commit your changes. Then let's run BTC 15 minutes. Yeah, that looks better. No, or not. Ah, yeah, again. This one, source, this. Okay, that worked. Do we see it here? Should be this one, I guess. Let's open it. And I mean, it will not win a design prize for now, but that looks like it is working. Nice. Maybe let's do another one with 0.5. Close this. Yeah, now the stop loss is closer than the take profit. Here it hits the take. Here it hits the stop loss. And can still do this. Okay. Looks like there's a bug. When we are already scrolled back, then it doesn't reload the indicator. He closes it and it crosses, and then here's the entry. Alright, great. We commit this. Then we can test this one here. Should now be able to delete old backtests. Let's remember this one here. Okay, we have. Yeah, that's deleted. It's good. Let's maybe just delete everything. What happens when we have it applied and we want to delete it? It removes it. That's fine. Okay, now our database should be clean again. Let's check this. So we don't have any closed traits, backtest fields. That's also empty, great. Backtest runs is also cleaned up, perfect. Commit your changes. Okay. Maybe we can fix this bug as well here. Is there an error logged? No. But I think it doesn't happen always. Let me check. We do indicators. Well, let's do this again. Yeah. So it only happens when candles are loaded, and then we apply indicators, I guess. We try to re-trigger it. It also doesn't work. Okay. There is a bug with loading the indicators. When we already have loaded more candles, because they are lazy loaded, then indicators, when then applying indicators, it will only load the first batch and will not load more data. We need to fix this. So it is also loading the data for the already applied or loaded candles. Let's maybe not completely do this. let's do it this way. Oh, and it's not the backtester. I don't know, what do I want to do this on this branch? Doesn't really belong here. No, but I don't want to change branches now. Let's do it anyway here. It's the wrong model. Alright, this is committed. Let's check what's else here. Okay, then let's commit this as well. Alright. When applying or refreshing an indicator, should the historical indicator request cover the currently loaded candle range exactly using the oldest and newest loaded candle timestamps instead of requesting a fixed latest 500 points? Yes, I do agree. It should match the candle's latest timestamp, but it should still request it in batches of 500. Okay, then you can clear this. Okay. Backtester. Let's do another run here. Activate the venv, then run it. Should applying an indicator fetch the missing historical batches before considering the indicator loaded, or should it show the newest 500 immediately and backfill older indicator batches progressively? Yes. That sounds good. Yes, I do agree with that. Then we have this run here. So let's consider what actually do we want to see here. I think I don't want to have an open button. I think the complete row should be clickable and it would apply the strategy. And this ID we don't need. Yeah, let's maybe start with these two. I want you to clean up the backtester runs table, the row there should not be an open button at all. Each row itself should be clickable and apply the indicator run. And also the ID should not be listed. Displayed. So next question here on the final backfill. On the final backfill batch, is it acceptable for the indicator to load older points than the oldest loaded candle, or should we trim indicator data to the current candle range after merging? I guess I want to trim it, otherwise it will look a bit weird. Yes, I do agree, I want to trim indicator data. Should this behavior be documented? I do agree. candles continue lazy loading older. History after an indicator is already applied. Should indicator lazy loading remain coupled to candle lazy loading as it is now? Or should indicator backfill be triggered only after candle fetch success? I do not agree. I still want to load the indicators in parallel as they are before. Currently. We need to do some state management to not introduce any race conditions. I am fine if there is a state that first does the backfilling, and even when candles are loaded, the indicator calculation, the indicator requests is held back until the backfill is finished. But I would still like to have it in parallel for a smooth feeling. This one here already finished. 6th design question. Should indicator backfill use per indicator serialized backfill state with a moving target candle range? Backfill in flight. Yes, I do agree. How does this look now? Okay, we don't have this anymore, and this is completely... So this... the strategy looks different than the indicators. For example, the close icon has some border and it looks like an actual button, but I would like to keep it similar to the indicator, that it is just an icon that is clickable. So the font is different, right? Yeah. Also margins and font sizes should be adapted and the same like the indicator. Should latest known loaded candle range be read from the candlestick storage at the time each indicator batch finishes or captured once the backfill starts. When a user changes indicator parameters while a backfill is in flight, should the old backfill be cancelled? Yes, please. When the chart session changes market time frame while indicator backfill is in flight, should the same generation/version mechanism ignore stale results, or should we also explicitly reset backfill state? What? So when we change the market or time frame and the backfill is in flight. I do agree. So this is done as well. Should live indicator subscription start immediately after the latest 500 batch run? Yes. Let's refresh. Do we want to have this backtest run? Maybe we make the strategy name actually in bold and at the front. Oops. Remove the backtest run constant string in front of the label and move the strategy name to the front and make it bold. Should we change the historic indicator API contract or keep all batching range orchestration in the front? in the front end. The API already supports this, and warm-up safe trimming. Yeah. Is the M15 part of the strategy name? Is the time frame actually part of the strategy name, or why it is it bold as well? The time frame should not be bold. Where should the current loaded candle range dependency live? In the chart workflow adapter. All right. I guess that's fine. The hovering effect for the row is not in full width. Fix this. Should parameter changes use the same progressive latest first backfill workflow as newly applied indicators? The user changes parameter. Invalidate old indicator data / backfill generation. Fetch latest 500 with new parameters. Render immediately and backfill older batches until the current loaded candle range is covered. How are we doing this at the moment? I mean, this works, right? No change. Oh, this also doesn't. Okay, we need to move the chart. Yeah, but I think it's fine to use the same behavior. Should fetch all of all remain at the scroll trigger? When a backfill batch returns no older indicator data before reaching the oldest loaded candle, should we mark that indicator as history exhausted? This. If candle lazy loading expands the range after an indicator was marked historically exhausted, should the exhausted flag prevent more backfill attempts? Yes. Should live indicator points also be trimmed filters against the loaded candle range? Should trimming apply only to historical batch data? Historical batch merge, trim to loaded candle range. It's now asking very granular question. The backfill state be visible in the UI or purely integral? It's not visible. Should this fix include tests? Yes. I think this is coming to an end, and then we might need to decide if we are fixing it in this context. I think it is fine to fix it here. So we don't need to create another context. I'm always trying to not reach, if possible, 50% of context here. That doesn't... I don't achieve this always, but that's at least the goal. Okay. Is this fixed? it's not. Is this a margin or what is this? Oops. This entire thing is not. This class needs to be full width. Currently the width is calculated. I think we can just remove the width parameter. All right. I'm thinking if I like this this icon here in front, or if I don't like it. Maybe we could also add some icons to the other buttons. Okay, now it is fixed, right? Yeah. Commit all your changes. Okay. Then we have this. I mean, what I also want to apply is running actual strategies or starting the backtests from the UI. So I don't have to do this CLI runs anymore. But I'm not sure if this is actually the next step. Does this even work? Looks like. Okay, can also search for timeframes and for the symbol. All right, so this should be fixed now. Let's refresh. Let's first load more candlestick data. Have a look at the logs, and then nice. So it backfills also the indicators now. That looks good. Let's maybe also try it with some indicators on a different pane. That works as well. Nice. And changing parameters. Also perfect. Nice. Yep, looks good. Then let's commit this fix. Commit this fix. And what's next? I mean, our backtester can only strategies with long only, so maybe that's also now something we want to extend. I would like to have another probably another screen or something where I can properly display like the equity curve and yeah, or the metrics. It's the question what we are doing next. What is it? Backtester. Let's use the implementation plan. I want you to check the implementation plan and the current state. Maybe we just merge first the implementation. I guess this branch is now done. We can merge this into dev branch. Git check out dev. Git merge Ralph. Backtester run chart overlays. And git push. Great. Then I want you to check the current implementation and compare it to the implementation plan. What is missing and what would be the next steps to implement? I could think of extending the backtester to also support short trades. If the implementation plan is not in line, update it accordingly. Quickly check. I will reach my limit here soon, but I do have some resets, so I will probably use them then, because my next reset is, I think, on the 7th, so 2 days. Okay. Now we can also clear the PRD then, the implementation branch. What is it called? Rough list is the backtester run shot overlays. Implementation versus plan. So this is unimplemented. Short support was underspecified. The plan previously buried it inside M9, richer order realism, but the code shows it is a distinct slice. Okay, the question is, do we only want to work on shorts or also add another feature with it? So it said M8. What was milestone 8? Backtester. Research ergonomics not implemented. Future PRD candidate for sweeps and research workflow improvements. So I guess this is this is also to run multiple strategies then with different parameters at the same time. Not sure. maybe we just do the support for short trades alone. I would like to implement the next feature for the backtester, which should be applying or allowing short positions in backtests. Let's do this. Okay. This is because we switched branches. Why is it not showing anymore? You could also redefine its position as live broker exposure. Should we call this a feature short exposure in the backtester domain, reserving position for broker slash live exposure? No, I still want to call it short position. Do we want to avoid position here? Make up detached. What do we have in closed trades? Run ID, trade sequence. Maybe we should call it short trade. Timestamp when you press. Should we resolve this by adding a backtest position? I mean, we can also call it like short trade or use a direction parameter, which is then possible to set it to long only, short only, or all directions. But in my opinion, the term exposure is not very common. Hi Paul, what's up? Exposure is technically accurate, but it is not the best user-facing term here. Use trade direction for long versus short, allowed direction for run. Yeah, okay, that's better, I guess. Short trade would then mean a computed simulated trade whose direction is short. Should long only, short only, or all directions be modeled as a first class allowed direction enum instead of the current Boolean allow short? Yes, I do agree. Should allowed directions belong to the execution config or the strategy definition? It is a run level permission. I do agree. Should strategy output continue to be signed target quantity rather than adding a separate direction plus quantity fields? Assigned target quantity as the engine contract. Positive means long, 0 is flat, negative is short. Add trade direction only to close. Add trade direction only to close trade / result records. So consumers do not need to infer long versus short from fill order or quantity sign. I guess, yes. Assigned target quantity. Position quantity means a long target. Short target. The short trade is a backtest closed trade with a short trade. Okay. For long and short strategy, what should signal values mean? Long and short strategy. Keep the existing signal matrix convention but extend it. Yeah, I think we should add another column in this matrix. Okay. Does this work now? Nope. Compose logs. Why is this not working anymore? The trades are here. In the database. This is all in. I mean, we see the run. Do we have any errors? Nope. I did just switch the branch from the implementation branch where backtesting runs visualization worked. But now when I try to apply a backtest run, it doesn't work anymore. It is not applied to the chart. Investigate this issue. In long and short mode. How should a strategy explicitly move from long or short to flat? Zero means already, because zero already means hold current target in the current signal flow. For this feature, require short capable strategies to emit signed target quantity directly when they need flat behavior. Later, if we want richer declaration signals, add a explicit flat signal. I have no idea. Guess I'm just accepting this. I don't know what's the best. Flat target should support. Should support include direct flips in one bar. Yes. I think we want this. Here, found and fixed the chart overlay issue cause. It had two get loaded candle range methods. Okay. Okay, there it is. Maybe we still need to fix the colors in some way to make this a little bit nicer. But it works. Should closed trades records gain an explicit trade direction field? Closed trades gain an explicit trade direction field. Yes. What is this trade here? Oops. This one here. We need the second one. What was it? 510, I guess. I probably hit the, what was it? Stop loss. Where do we buy? Yeah, it hit the stop loss probably. I think I also want to have a drawing tool to calculate some differences. I guess that would make debugging also a bit simpler. Should adding trade direction create backtest? What should adding trade direction create backtest results schema version 3? Yes. So we need another database update. I would like to implement a very simple drawing tool which can be used to calculate the difference from a start to an endpoint. I think how it should work is that you click on the chart and it captures the current value at this point, and then you can drag it around and see the actual or the absolute difference to the point where the mouse is. It should capture the absolute value as well as the percentage and display this accordingly. And I also want to have that it counts the number of candles that are covered by this drawing tool. I only want to display it at mouse hold, and when the user releases the mouse it should be removed again. Should short protective exits be excluded in the first short support implementation? The current backtester already supports long stop loss take profit in both. Okay, yeah. Also want to have stop loss and stop loss and take profits for short trades. Anything else? I think visually I would like to have like a box that is also drawn when the user clicks and holds, so it visualizes which area actually is captured. Let's see. Should margin borrow fees locate availability and broker specific short sale constraints be part of this feature? I think we don't have any of this for long trades, right? So I would like to not include this in this feature. Should the canonical term be measurement overlay rather than drawing tool? I do agree. Measurement overlay. Should adding allowed directions create backtest request schema version 2? What? Was this not? This was about trade direction. Loud direction. That's a different table or what? Okay. Should the measurement overlay measure from the exact pointer price at mouse down or from the nearest candle price? I do agree at the exact pointer price. Should the public API response include both? Load directions and the legacy shorter. I do not agree. We should do a clean cut here and only allow the new field. I think the old field is redundant afterwards. We should do a proper migration for this. Should the candle count include both the Ancaster candle and the current hovered candle, or count only the candles across between them? Inclusive count. The user clicks one candle and drags to the same candle. Show one candle. Yes, I guess. If they drag from Monday's candle to Wednesday candle, show 3 candles. Yes. What should the migration do with existing durable v1 request snapshots that contain allow short at an idempotent migration? I think we do not need to do a migration. The only database which is running is on this machine. I can do a cleanup before we do this. So we only need a migration for the new columns, not actual data. The database for backtests will be clean. The database for the backtests will be clean. Should the measurement overlay show sign price change as a primitive value or only absolute magnitude? Yes, that looks good. I do agree. Should runtime code reject legacy? No, I don't want to create any artifacts for the old version. I guess if the code is then updated and a new run will be executed, we do not need to do any checks or validation that there is any old schema version. What should the percent delta use as a denominator? Yes. How should the user enter measurement overlay? Give it a plane. Give that plane, click, drag. What do we have? Currently we have like changing the or scrolling through the chart. I think we need to implement two different buttons. One is to get into the current mode, and which should be the default, where you click and drag to scroll through the chart. And then there is the new mode to enter the measurement overlay mode. Should the database schema enforce trade direction as not null? I guess. Yes, I do agree. Stay active after one measurement, or should you to pen? Guess stay active until the user. Yep, I do agree. Should allow direction, should only reject any positive target quantity, or should it clamp position to flat like today's? Should only reject any positive target quantity, or should it clamp positive to flat? I guess reject is good. I do agree. So when the measurement mode is active, should normal chart planning be disabled? Chart panning be disabled during the drag or for the entire time measurement mode is I mean, I can still move with a different key on my mouse and I can scroll. When the measurement mode is active, should normal chart panning be disabled? I guess it has to be disabled. I think I do agree. If you mean with the normal chart panning, the left mouse click panning. Because what I still would like to keep is scrolling with the mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. I think this should still be possible. And currently it is possible to scroll to the left and right with a vertical scroll on a mouse. I guess this should also still be possible. Should we keep the long only rule at all after this change? So do you want to keep two different variables for the directions? I would like to not keep this just to support some old strategies. I think we only have one strategy at the moment defined, and we can migrate this strategy as well. Should the measurement overlay label be positioned near the current pointer endpoint? Near the current pointer endpoint, or fixed inside the measure box. Guess I would like to have it at the top right somewhere. The endpoint is where the user is looking. What do you mean by the current pointer endpoint? I think a good placement for these two new buttons would be at the top right above the chart. I think a good placement for the two new buttons would be above the chart. Yes, same strategy ID. Should the built-in SMA cursor become direction neutral and depend entirely on allowed directions? Yes, same strategy. Yes. Yes, I do agree. The pan/measure button should sit above the chart, likely in the existing top controller near some. The live mouse touch position at the far corner. I don't get it. Should the measurement value label follow the tracked endpoint, or should it be fixed corner of the measurement box? I guess that's fine. So should allowed directions live inside execution config, replacing allow short, or be at top level backtest request field? Keep it in execution config. I do agree. What exact values should the label show? The price delta, the percent delta, the candle count only. Yes. Looks good. I do agree. I do agree. How should price delta precision be formatted? Yes. Use the market min move. Should short trade P&L be calculated as the short trade P&L? We have the entry price, the exit price times quantity minus yes. Yeah, see you later, Paul. Thanks for joining. What should happen if the user starts measuring? Then release the mouse outside the chart pane. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I do agree. Should portfolio snapshot position continue storing signed quantities? Navigate. Portfolio snapshot position continue storing signed quantities with negative values for open short position. Works for negative positions, keep snapshot signed. Should measurement work when the drag starts outside an actual candle? For empty future to the right of the last candle? No. Should it? I think it's fine to make it work this way. Acquire the mouse down anchor to resolve time index during drag. The pointer moves into an empty time space. Keep measuring. If possible, I still would like to work or make it work even outside plotted candles. I'm not sure if you can get the candle count for, or the position of the cursor in this case for the not plotted candles. Let's see. Should a direction flip produce one fill record or two fill records? Current target +1, next target -1, next open price is 100. Should it be one fill? Fills represent simulated executions. Okay. Okay, then let's do it this way. So when the pointer is outside plotted candles, should the count include implied empty time frame slots? Yes. Label it as bars / candles considered, but define it as a logical bar slot. If you drag 5 slots past the last candle on a 5-minute chart, slots show the count of the as if those future M5 candle position exist. Yes. This makes the box width meaningful everywhere on the chart. I guess that's how I want to have it. Yes, I do agree. Direction flip fill. How should fees be allocated between the closing trade and the new opening trade? Yep. Should the measurement overlay allow dragging both left and right from the anchor? Yes. Scenario short target is -2, moves to -1. That is a buy fill of quantity 1 and closes half the short. Should the measured box extend? Should the measured box extend between the two exact pointer prices or snap vertically to candle heights, highs, lows inside the selected span? Yes, I do agree. Currently there is no snapping, or I think I have snapping disabled. So I think also the measurement box should not snap vertically. Should Should metrics need any new direction specific fields for this feature? Not for the first slide. Should metrics need any new direction specific fields? Wait. Not for the first slice. Existing metrics should compute from equity curve and closed trades regardless of direction. Add trade direction to trades first. Direction specific win rate or long short breakdown can come later if the UI reporting needs it. I think I want to have it within this. I think I also want to have a breakdown in the metrics about the short and long trades, win rate and profit or loss. Should the box's horizontal edge align the edges align to candle bar slot center? I'll cover the full visual width. No, it should be aligned to the candle slot center. Start and endpoint. Should the metric keys be float top level fields or nested object? Yes. Should the anchor logical bar slot be captured from the nearest slot center at mouse down, even if the click is between two candles? Yes. For long win rate percent and short win rate percent, what should the value be when there are 0 trades? I do agree. Should measure mode support touch input? I do agree. Should trade count remain total closed trades across both directions? No, I think I also want to extend this or split it up. In a trade count along. Wait, what? For with 2 trades. Total closed trades across both directions. Keep existing trade count at total for compatibility and add direction. Ah, yeah, that's exactly how I wanted. Yes, I do agree. Should a very small drag, like a normal click with no movement, show? Yes, should fill level records also get trade direction? Should fill level records also get trade direction or only closed trades? Okay. Yes. I do agree. Should the measurement overlay visually style encoding, style encoded direction? Hmm. Yes, I do agree. I think the box should be semi-transparent and have a solid border, maybe of 1 pixel. And the color should be direction encoded. Hello, Johnny. Should diagnostic split protective exits by direction to diagnostic split? A stop loss exit count attack brother. Achso. Yeah, I think we don't need to split this. Should measure mode change the cursor while hovering the chart? Yep, I can do this. Yes, I do agree. Should short only mode allow a long position to exit temporarily while covering a short? Oh. So target is -1 to 0. Create a buy fill, but that fill is a cover. Should short only mode allow a long position to exist temporarily? Hä? Direction validation should apply to resulting target positions, not a raw fill side. In short only, positive target quantities are invalid. But buy fills are allowed when they reduce a what AI am I using? I am using Codex. Model is GPT 5.5. At the moment, high effort. Not sure about this here. I'm not sure about this. It feels a bit hacky to use a long position to close a short or to cover a short. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just not getting it right. Can you explain this more in detail? Should the pen measure buttons be icon only toggles with tooltips? Tooltips measurable. Icon plus short text. This is the mode switch. I think I just want to have some circular buttons with icons in it. Maybe a tooltip is also fine. That shows on hover. But the button itself should not have any text in it. Are you a full-time trader? I am a developer. I'm not a YouTuber, really. I'm not earning any money with this. I'm not earning my money with trading. I'm just an employed developer, which does some YouTube in his free time. And is interested in finance. Should the active mode button be visually selected? Yes. Yes, I do agree. So, a buy fill is not automatically a long position. That's clear. It is just the execution side. You bought units, yes. For a short trade, you open short by selling first. Target is from 0 to -1, creates a sell quantity of 1. Your portfolio position is now -1. You close the short by buying back. Target -1 to 0 creates a buy quantity of 1. Your portfolio position is now 0, not +1. Yes. So in short, only buy fills. Must be allowed because validate sign target when it is not filled side. Validate signed target quantities. Okay, then maybe I just got this wrong. To exist temporarily while exist temporarily. But it just means to have a buy trade. Yes, I do agree with that. your wording got me off with that there is a long position that temporarily exists, but that I think just means that there is a buy trade to close the sell position. That's fine, yes. Should switching from measure back to pen while a measurement drag is active immediately cancel or remove. Yes, I guess that's fine. I do agree. Should the measurement label use candles or bars as in the UI? The label. Yes, I do agree. Should the percentage delta be based on raw exact pointer prices? Yes. Should long and short allow a strategy to flip directly from long to short or require an intermediate flat target first? Didn't we had this question already? I do agree, but didn't we had this question already? Yes, we did. Nice. Should the CLI expose allowed direction with values? Should the CLI expose allowed directions? Yes. I do agree. Should the overlay be allowed on indicator panes? Yeah, I think I do agree. Let's do it just for candlestick pane for now. Default to long only when the execution. I think the default value should be long and short. I mean, with limiting it to long only for default as a default value would mean that you define a strategy where you also need to define rules 4 long and short entries, and then you would expect it to work this way without passing a parameter. Or am I getting this wrong? Should changing markets timeframes or selected chart session while a measurement is active cancel the overlay? I'm not sure if we need to actively define this, because this is working with mouse drag and drop, and if you release the left mouse button, the measurement tool should be removed again. Therefore, while the user is dragging with the measurement tool, he cannot click any other things. Maybe we want to say we drag it, we have this active. Do we want to disable it when we change, for example, the chart? That we switch back to pen mode. I think we can keep it simple and just keep it as is. I think also for having the measurement mode enabled and then switching time frame or symbol, we don't need to automatically switch to the pen mode. So the user has to do an action to actually switch back. What was this here? The default value. You're not wrong, but there are two competing expectations. If a strategy is truly direction neutral, long and short feels natural. But with the current SMA crossover, bearish cross under used to mean exit long. When a signal is when a signal is exiting it, okay, under a long and short, the same bearish cross under means enter short. So defaulting to short and long, long and short, should silently change the behavior of the request. Make explicit in the API request. So no API default. I still think it should be an optional value and the default should be long and short. So should the chart crosshair and OpenHylo close legend continue updating while the users are actively measuring? I do agree. Should build and SMA crossover under default long and short reverse and reverse on every opposing. I do agree. So should the mode be remembered across page refresh? I think we don't need this. We always switch to the default. So in long only mode for strategy should bearish cross under exit to flat. In long only, yeah. Yes. Should the measurement overlay display update continuously during drag using every pointer move, or be throttled to animation frames? Should feel continuous, but chart dragging can many events. Okay. Didn't consider this, that the dragging tool might maybe create some lags then. Hopefully it doesn't. Should the front end expose allowed directions, the front end and the backtest request UI immediately, or can this first slice update contract types only? Yes, we want to see this. Should measure mode be available when the chart has no candle data loaded? The measure mode be available. Show the button, but we don't have an anchor point then, right? Yeah, I do agree, that's fine. Should this decision captured front-end scope as okay. Should the measured percent delta handle an anchor price of 0 by anchor price by 0 F0? Yeah, that's very special cases here now. Should the schema migration be allowed to assume backtest closed trades in allow assume backtest closed traits is empty when adding required trait direction. Yep, I will clean this in a moment. Should the label format for 0 anchor %BNA? Yeah, that's fine. If you really want to measure the difference from 0, then I think this is fine. So should we assume or require allowed directions inside stored request JSON at persistence time, even though API CLI may default it to long and short before snapshot creation? Should we also require allowed directions? Should the default label include +sign? Yes, we can do this. Should direction calls, should direct calls to execution config default to yes. Should the box and label appear immediately on mouse down, or only after the pointer moves at least a few pixels? Yeah, don't need to do any distinction there. Should tests preserve old? Tests preserve old long only. No, I think the old tests should be removed. I don't want to have any artifacts about this. It should be a clean cut and properly migrated. Should right click or middle click ever start a measurement? No. Should the replacement test suite treat long and short as a primary / default behavior with I do agree. Should there be a keyboard shortcut? No. Should we create an ADR for this? Should the implementation be delivered as one broad feature change or split into vertical PR issues? It should be split. It should be a single PRD split into multiple issues. I will trigger this once we are done with the proper skill. But are there any further open questions? Which icons should the a pen, a hand icon, measure, a resize, expand, or ruler? Can we look this up here? Resize, expand, resize. Which library are we currently using for icons? I guess the hand icon for pen is fine. I would like to look up the measure icon. Should get backtests and allow. Should get backtests. Add allow direction filter. Yeah, I think we don't need this. I do agree. Icons. This one. What was the other one? Hand right outline. I think that's fine. Resize. Expand. Scale. No, not scale. That doesn't fit us. Doesn't fit either. Because it's resize or expand. I guess we use expand. Scale outline. Why am I looking the wrong? It is literally a scale. Don't think that fits well. Should run metadata or diagnostics record that defaults were applied? No. I think even though it's this small, I still want to create a PRD out of this. %, context used. I guess this will be a custom custom component build. But I'm not sure how easy this is. Maybe have, I don't know, 2 or 3 issues out of this. Should short capable closed trades require entry side, exit side fields in addition to trade direction. Okay. Should short only mode treat bullish SMA crossover as an exit to flat even if no short is open? Short only mode. Do we have a bullish? This is now just for the dummy test strategy. It's an exit to flat, even if it is not short open. Yes, I guess. Yeah, it is idempotent. Yes, I do agree. If this doesn't somehow increase the count for a number of exited trades, but I think we are anyway not capturing this at the moment, right? So here the PRD is created, then we create issues out of this. Should the signal exit count count both long exits and short covers after this change? So it wants now to add this, or what? An exit to flat signal while already flat should not emit a fill, so it should not create a trade. Close the trade count or filament. Okay, we have this. Current diagnostic are field based. They are field based and not raw signal attempt based. Okay, yeah. So question, should signal exit count both long exits and short covers after this change? Yes. I do agree. All right, 4 issues. Okay. So we have an issue to add short interaction mode controls, build the measurement overlay model and renderer, then wire measure mode pointer interaction, and complete measurement overlay lifecycle edge cases. Not sure if this needs to be it's blocked by 3. 1 and 2 can be worked in parallel. Yeah, let's do it this way. Should stop loss, take profit diagnostic count, short protective exits 2. Yes. Should short protective exit planned prices be stored on the short entry fill? Stored on the short entry fill. Same as long planned prices are stored on the long entry fill today. So for a short entry sell at 100 with stop loss %5 and take profit %10, the entry fill should carry stop loss price. Ah yeah, I think we need this for our drawing tool then that we had implemented yesterday or finished today. So the issues are created. I guess. Because we have now that still is thing here with uncommitted changes. I cannot start the Ralph loop now because I have uncommitted changes. But all of them are just documentation pretty much. Or what is this? Okay, it did some small code change here. Should a protective exit reset desired target to flat even and default? Should a protective exit reset the desired target to flat even if default mode? Short is stopped out, but the strategy's last signal still implied short. Yes, we need to flat this. Yes, I do agree. Should short support include multi-symbol behavior? I think we don't even have it for long, right? Yes, that's out of scope. It's also out of scope. I think we are getting here in this grill me session also to an end. Should partial fills remain unsupported? Yes, it's also nothing we want to implement now. Should short support change slippage rules? Keep the existing side-based slippage by... yeah, okay, we already have buy and sell signals, and this is applied to the signals, so we don't need to change anything here. That works for long entries, long exits, short entries, and short covers. Yeah, okay. Was shortly thinking if we need to do a change here, but that should be covered. Should short support change commission calculation? It is the quantity times execution price. Times commission base points divided by 10,000 for every fill regardless of direction. Okay. Should initial capital or cash constraints prevent? I think we also don't have this currently, so should not introduce marginal capital checks. Yeah, also something we need to cover in the future. Should open position at the end. Backtest before closed. Yeah, we don't do this at the current behavior, so we also don't want to implement this now. Should short realized P&L include only closed short trades, not unrealized P&L from an open short at the end? What? Should this include only closed short trades? Yes. Not unrealized. I think we also exclude this, and yeah, it's fine. So there might be one open trade with this, which is then not included, but I think it is simpler. That's why I did it for the long trades. Should long win rate percent count break even? Count a break even trade as a loss. I mean, this is a really marginal decision here. 0 or negative P&L is not a win. I mean, it should definitely not be a win, but I'm considering it making it a loss, because most of the time you will add slippage or commissions, and then it will become negative. Non-win. Yeah, or we introduce another value for this. Could be fine as well. Yes. So should result schema v3 require should result schema v3 require trade directions on Didn't we had this question already? No, I think we also had this already. I said I will clean up the database beforehand. It can be expected that the database is clean. Do you have any new questions we should define, or can we write down the PRD? I think I have to push it a bit. Great. PRD. All right. I will just commit this documentation things here. Ralph loop PRD. Ralph list. What is it called? Chart measurement overlay. So then is this already working? All right. Then Let's write the issues. Wait, why is it not starting the... I might run out of... out of limits here. Yeah, I have 3% of my weekly limit, but I think it should still pick the issues at least. Not sure what's the issue is here. Alright, only 9 issues. All AFK issues, or AFK types. Let's create them. I'm wondering what's happening here. We have Ralph run. It's idle for 4 minutes. Let's cancel this maybe. Yeah, I think I will just create the issues now here and then, I don't know, figure out why this didn't start, but my limits are anyway running out, so I need to either reset. Probably I will reset because my next reset is on Tuesday, I guess. Therefore, yeah, I think anyway I'm done for today. Almost 4 hours stream. Thanks for everyone joining, and see you next time. Bye bye.